Hello everyone, my name is Morgan and welcome back to Piofiore Faded Memories! In the last episode we did in fact make it on to Nicola's route, so that was a pretty short common route, which I'm okay with. I'm really not a fan of extremely long common routes. Like I said, the Code Realized one felt like it went on for 7 years. And then the actual routes seemed like that they were way shorter than the actual common route, so I am pleased with this nice and short common routes because I like to just get into the routes and get to know each of the characters on a deeper level and see what's going on. But yeah, things took a dark turn when Elena and I almost got freaking kidnapped by Yang's group, and now I am here staying in a mafia manor thanks to Nicola. I'm very excited to get to know him. He seems very nice at first, but I was thinking about it and I was like, you know, given what I know about this game, I'm wondering if he's maybe not as nice as he seems to be at first. I'm not too sure. I guess we'll see. But yeah, let's just continue on. We're staying the night in the mafia manor. What a wonderful room. The bed is soft and the adornments are so extravagant. The room I was led to was the most beautiful guest room I had ever seen. Oh, by the way, I did look it up. Gilbert in the last episode, I was talking about how his voice sounded familiar. He was Impy from Code Realized, but what I was recognizing him from more, because I've only played Code Realized once, was Shin from Diabolic Lovers. Also, I remember looking, because I was looking at all the voice actors, someone is Floyd from Twisted Wonderland, and I don't remember who it is. But I remember being shocked because I was like, that's such a different voice than Floyd. So I probably won't remember by hearing the voice. I changed my clothes and tucked myself into bed. The room is so fancy, maybe a bit too fancy. The room is far beyond what a normal person like me should enjoy. I hope Elena is okay. Recovers from her stabbing. Maybe she's feeling better already. I hope she's not in too much pain. She got stabbed like an hour or two ago. I don't know that she's feeling better yet. I wasn't able to call the church. I'm sure everyone is worried sick. This isn't working. I couldn't get myself to fall asleep. I'm also getting thirsty. Yeah, I don't know if I could easily fall asleep in a mansion that is owned by a mafia. After pondering a moment, I slowly got myself out of bed. Hi. Nicola. My heart leapt hearing Nicola call to me the moment I took a peek outside my room. I didn't expect anyone here. Wait, my clothes. Not only was I embarrassed, it was rude of me to look this way in front of the person who saved me. I mean, I get this takes place in a different time, but also, it's bedtime. Of course you're in your pajamas. While I regretted my actions, I tried to keep my composure. You're not going to sleep yet?
ちょっとね。君のことも気がかりだったし。
Wait. Have you been here all this time? You're standing guard, aren't you? Nicola squinted a bit, then smiled at me.
君が心配だったから。
Thank you, sir. How thoughtful of you. I'm assuming this is just part of his duties, but the fact that he cared enough to stand guard told me how kind he was.
それで、君はどうしたのかな?
I'm sorry to leave the room without permission. It's just that I couldn't sleep. And I was getting a little thirsty, so...
無理もないよ。君はあんなことに巻き込まれたんだから。
Yeah, almost got kidnapped.
気が利かなくてごめんね。少し部屋で待っていてくれる？すぐ戻るから。
Without waiting for my response, Nicola left down the corridor. Corridor. I couldn't say that word for some reason. I feel bad having to bother Nicola like this. I decided to go back inside my room, feeling sorry for having him cater to me. Hello? Come in.
お待たせ。はい、これ。
Oops, cut you off. I cut off your beautiful voice. Like, you guys know how I was with Jiwoo in Dandelion, and he's not even my favorite Otome boy. Like, he's very, 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 very close. But Shiraishi is my favorite Otome boy, so that's his voice. Very much does things to me. It makes me happy and emotional. He handed me a steaming cup of warm milk. You see, I love milk. I'm not one of those milk haters. Like, milk is my favorite drink. but I don't want it warm.
今夜は冷えるし、温かい飲み物の方がいいかと思って。
I like cold drinks, even when it's cold outside. I took the mug from his hand and felt the warmth flowing through my fingers. Thank you, Nicola.
どういたしまして。結構暑いから気をつけてね。
Thank you. I can smell a hint of honey. It's so warm and delicately sweet.
少しは落ち着いた。
Yes, I feel warm all over now. I suppose this warm cup of milk was exactly what I needed. I was thankful that he took such care into considering what I really wanted.
じゃあ、君が眠くなるまで少しおしゃべりでもしようか。
Huh? But
もちろん君が嫌なら遠慮するけど、僕は邪魔。
not at all, but if you don't mind.
それはよかった。
From there, we spoke casually about all sorts of things. We spoke about the weather and our interests. We spoke about what sweets we liked and what flowers and animals we liked. And finally, Nicola ended our conversation with,
今夜のことをどう思った？
well, like I said, I almost got kidnapped and murdered, so I wouldn't say it went well. Huh? Let's see. The answer is, I can't answer that. The answer is there's no answer. Oh, I almost picked the wrong one. Whew! I can't answer that. I can't answer
ど
that.
うして？
No matter what I say about what happened, it will only make me sound weak.
弱音だといけないの？
I don't think it's constructive. Hearing an outsider like me whine about what happened today could only be a bother to you.
困らないよ。
Nicola smiled at me.
相手のことを気遣える優しさはきっと君の長所の一つなんだろうけど、吐き出すことで落ち着くものもある。素直になっていいんだよ、リリアーナ。
Nicola, you're so nice. I'm honestly kind of suspicious of how nice he is. I mean, I don't know, maybe he is that nice, but I don't know, it's when you hear about all these ruthless mafia boys and he's just so kind. I mean, he works under Dante, he's supposed to be, like, very ruthless. I don't dislike his kindness, I'm just kind of, like, taken aback by it.
難しく考えないで。僕は君の話を聞きたい。君が話してくれた方が嬉しいって。
Thank you. His gentle eyes compelled me to slowly reveal what was deep inside my heart. It was very scary. I'm still not sure what happened. My best friend was about to be killed, then someone died in front of me. Oh yeah, I also forgot about that part, about the man dying and being shot. I just don't know why this is all happening. This all feels like some nightmare. Recalling the event made me shudder in fear. Nicola gently clasped my hands in his.
今夜の君はよく頑張ったね。僕はこのファミリーで生まれ育ったから、こういう荒事にも慣れっこだけど。
But I'm a sweet little church girl.
小さい頃は怖くて眠れない夜もあった。だから、君が抱えている不安も恐れもわかる気がする。
He spoke as if consoling a young child. I feel a bit better already. My mind, that had been everywhere since the incident, was coming back to earth with his words. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for listening to me. I showed him my gratitude with a smile, and he smiled back at me.
お礼を言いたいのは僕の方だよ。だ
Why?
って僕はずっと前からリリーちゃんのことが気になっていたんだから。
Really? You go to the church, so I guess you recognize me from there? Huh? Before I could ask what he meant by that, Nicola quickly and abruptly ended our conversation.
さあ、
Really?
おしゃべりはそろそろ終わりにしようか。のんびりしていたら朝が来てしまいそうだから。
What did you mean by that, sir? I can't help but be suspicious of him. You know, knowing what this game is. It sounds as if he's known me for some time. Yeah. So it is more than like, oh, you work at the church I go to. Maybe he just said it as a joke, or maybe he's just being polite. The men of this country do say things to flatter, but living at the church has kept me from most of those types. I'm sure he was joking. Still, that caught me off guard.
ホットミルクも空になったようだし、ちょうどいい。 さあ、ベッドに入って。
What do you know about me? I suppose. Maybe it was because I was relaxed now, but I could feel the sleep wash over me. I went back into bed, and Nicola tucked me in with the warm blanket. Nicola.
眠れるまでそばにいるよ。
The palm of his hand covered my eyes. I couldn't tell what kind of expression he had on his face because my eyes were covered. I couldn't see him. But his voice was gentle, and I heard a touch of genuine concern.
死にかけた夜に恐ろしいマフィアの家で一人眠らないとならないなんて。
Yeah, I can't say I expected this to be how my day went.
傷ついている女の子に対してあまりにも冷たい仕打ちだよね。
Nicola.
さあ、目を閉じて。もう眠ろ。
We're kind of forcing my eyes shut right now, but you know. He firmly held my hand and his fingers intertwined with mine. Sir, we just met. Why is he so kind to me? That's what I want to know. I'd had no parents since I was a child, so it wasn't often I was treated this way. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Because I was sort of thinking to myself, like, man, I haven't had anyone do this to me since I was a kid. And my mom was like, and I was like scared. And my mom was like, I'll stay with you until you fall asleep. But nowadays, I don't think I could deal with someone just like staring at me while I slept and being like right there. I think it would keep me awake. I couldn't seem to explain my feelings. I felt warm and cozy, yet it was bittersweet. I don't want to deny the kindness that he's showing me. I felt guilty about what was happening. But I slowly drifted into slumber.
おやすみ、リリアーナ。
Night, can you take your hand off my eyes? Soon after his kind, gentle whisper, I fell asleep. I don't think I'd be able to fall asleep that fast. Yes? It's morning! Without realizing it, I answered the knock at the door as I opened my eyes. I saw an unfamiliar ceiling above my bed. Ah, that's right. I spent the night at the Falzone family's manor.
おはよう、シニョリーナ。
The voice sounded so close to me that I sprung up. Nicola? Where did you...
あれ、ちゃんとノックして返事をもらったんだけど、もしかして寝ぼけていたのかな？
I'm so sorry, I haven't even dressed. You saw you like this last night. What's the matter?
気にしないで。昨夜はよく眠れたみたいだね。
Yes.
着替えを持ってきたからここに置いておくね。
You brought this over for me?
大したものじゃないよ。じゃあ僕は外に出ているから、支度が済んだら呼んでくれる？
Did you go get clothes from my place? Did you go tell the church? Where'd you get these clothes? I'm just very curious how you found clothes in my size. Yes, thank you. I expressed my gratitude, at which Nicola smiled and headed out of my room. I took a look at the clothes he brought. What a lovely dress. It's just my size. Okay, no, he did not get my actual clothes. How do you know my size? I tilted my head, a bit bewildered, and changed into the dress. After straightening out my appearance, I opened the door and beckoned Nicola inside. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
ああ、思った以上によく似合うね。
Did you really get these for me, Nicola?
どうだと思う？
His expression answered my question. So, you did?
ささやかなプレゼントだと思って受け取ってくれたら嬉しいな。それより、ちょうど今さっき君にお客さんが来たところなんだ。一緒に行こうか。
A guest? For me? But no one knows I'm here at the Falzone Manor. I wonder who it could be. I tilted my head, wondering who came to see me, as I was escorted out by Nicola. Who is it? Nicola led me into a room adorned with the finest luxuries. Ah, Dante. Finally get to hear you talk other than Sitting at his desk was the one and only Dante Falzone. Hi. Another stood near the door. Ah, I thought it might have been you, but then you mentioned no one knows that I'm here. So I second-guessed myself. Sister Sophia.
リリー、本当に無事でよかった。
I could tell how worried Sister Sophia was by the expression on her face. I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to contact you yesterday. How did you know I was here?
昨夜、シニョーレ・フランチェスカからあなたを保護したという連絡をいただきました。エレナのことも聞いて
You
いま
did
す。
contact the church.
ここに来る前、彼女が入院した病院に寄ってきました。
The hospital. So is she okay?
まだ意識は戻っていませんでしたが、お医者様の話では容体は安定していると。
I see. Thank goodness. I was glad Sister Sophia found me. I could go back to the church. I could finally return home. Or can I? However,
シニョーレ・ファルツォーネ、
Sister Sophia turned to the boss and pleaded.
お願いです。この子をしばらくあなたのお手元に置いていただけませんか？
I might be considered a threat now that I know too much and I saw too much. Sister Sophia?
中立地帯であるはずのアルカ地区でこの子は襲われました。それもブルローネマフィアの人間にです。これはとても重大な事件でしょ。それだけではありません。昨夜教会の前の通りで殺人
Yeah,
が起こ
that
りました。
meanwhile thing. I quickly looked at the others upon hearing the surprising news. Neither of them seemed surprised. They must have already known.
殺されたのは僕たちファルツォーネファミリーの人間だよ。君たちが襲われた後、念のため教会周辺の様子を見てくるように僕が指示を出した男だった。
教会のすぐそばで殺人が起きたなんて恐ろしいことです。
I wanted to know who could have done it. Let's see, the answer is, was it the Lao Shu? Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure. Could it be the Lao Shu? The only ones who would dare face the Falzoni would be another mafia family in Berlone. That whittled the choice down to either the Lao Shu or the Visconti. Gilbert, he's the last route. At least in the recommended order. And he is a mafia boy, so I'm sure he's got dark stuff going too, but he just seems so friendly. I couldn't see him doing it. Again, I'm probably gonna eat my words a lot in this Let's Play, I feel. And later, these boys are just gonna do horrible things. Because I know this is supposed to be, like, darker, I guess? The leader of the Visconti, Gilbert Redford. He's known to be a pious person, and I see him come to the church every week to pray. Yeah, that too, I doubt he would do that. I doubted someone so devout would dare to commit such an act into the church.
そうだね。まだ断定はできないけど、僕もダンテも現時点ではその可能性が最も高いと思っているよ。彼らは教会近くで何か見られたら都合の悪いことを見つかって、それで殺したんじゃないかな。口を封じるためにね。
The Lao Shu. Could they be the ones behind what happened to me and Elena?
その可能性はある。同じ夜のことだ。全くの無関係とは考えにくい。どちらにせよ、アルカ地区でうちの人間が殺されたとあっては、俺たちも動かざるを得ない。
Is this the first you've talked this whole conversation, or did I just forget that?
向こうが約定を破った以上、今までは不可侵とされていた教会も、無条件に安全な場所とは言えなくなるだろう。
シスターソフィア、その殺人の件とは別に、ラオ州は今、妙齢の女性を狙う傾向がある。あなたの教会には他にも条件を満たす子が？
いいえ、年頃の娘はエレナとリリーだけです。
では、その二人については今後、ファルツォーネが責任を持って保護すると約束しよう。
Thanks, guys.
シスターが希望したように、そこの娘は引き続きこの屋敷にかくまう。そして病院にいる娘には護衛をつけ、24時間体制で守らせる。
容体が落ち着き次第、うちが懇意にしている市外の病院に転院してもらおうか。その方が安心だしね。
教会にも警護をつける。だが、現時点で必要以上に相手を刺激するのはあまり得策ではない。大々的にはできないが、他の組織が不穏な動きを見せれば、すぐ対処できるように備える。できるな、ニコラ。
もちろんだよ、ダンテ。
Keep cutting him off. Thank you very much, Signore. Still not sure if I'm saying that right. I express my gratitude and appreciation for their concern and definitive plan of action. I didn't expect that you would help us in the church this much.
それは当然の行いだ。ファミリーを同胞を殺されたとなれば絶対に報復するのがマフィアというもの。ファルツォーネは長くこの地に根ざした組織だ。この町の平穏なしにファミリーの繁栄はない。
Their duty. I have to admit, he is quite honorable as a boss. After all, being able to take things into your own hands and act is very difficult. I guess I'm lucky that it was the Falzone who found us and is ensuring our care.
それから
Hmm?
お前がこの屋敷にいる間はダンテでいい。
Okay. I was already calling you that anyway.
シニョーレでは人数が多すぎる。誰のことを呼んでいるのかわからないだろう。
Oh, yes, of course. I noted it Dante in agreement. If so, can you call me Lily as well?
呼ぶ機会があればな。
If the need arises. Is it too much to ask? My full name's just such a mouthful.
そういうわけじゃない。なんだその目は。必要に迫られれば呼ぶ。それでいいだろう。
I suppose.
あなたたち2人が早速仲良くなれたようで、
仲良くというのかこれを。
I'm starting to like Dante from just these few lines we've gotten from him so far. I would have to agree with him. We both raised our brows at the same time. Sister Sophia was looking at us with a smile. That's cute. Nicola's like, hey, this is my route. Stop it. Nicola? For a moment, I thought I saw Nicola frowning. What is it?
じゃあ僕はこの子に屋敷の中を案内しておくよ。しばらくここで暮らすんだから最低限は教えておかないとね。
頼む。
どうかよろしくお願いします、シニョーレ・フランチェスカ。
任せて。それじゃ行こうか。
Yes. Thank you, Nicola. Nicola and I left the room with Dante and Sister Sophia staying behind.
僕たちが今までいたのはダンテの執務室。ファルツォーネのカポが代々使っている部屋なんだ。この部屋は呼ばれでもしない限り立ち入らないようにしてほしいな。ダンテは気難しいところがあるし、立場上何かと忙しくしているからね。
Understood. I'll try not to bother him.
助かるよ。2階は構成員の支出が多いから知らない部屋のドアはむやみに開けないでね。この廊下の端にあるのが君の部屋だよ。それは覚えた？
I understand, I think. The hallway looked very different now that the sun was up. You mean that room? I'd better make sure I don't forget.
後で僕の部屋も教えるよ。困りごとがあったら、いや、なくてもいつでも遊びにおいで。
Thank you, Nicola. I'm sure Nicola is saying that from the bottom of his heart, but I can't imagine myself going into a man's room alone. Same. I'd get that offer and be like, oh, thank you, but then would never actually do it. I suppose the only time I'd visit would be in an emergency. Ew.
ここが談話室だよ。僕たちはサロンって呼んでいる。
You were already in this room last night, I think. But still, it caught me off guard how fancy it is.
ここで話をしたり食事をとったりする。構成員の出入りが特に激しい場所でもあるね。君の食事は、そうだな。最初のうちは部屋に運ばせるよ。君が慣れてきたらみんなで一緒に食べようか。食事は大勢でした方が楽しいよね。
But wouldn't it be a problem for me to be there if something important comes up?
大丈夫。僕たちだって君の前で聞かせちゃいけない話はしないよ。どうしてもそういう話をする日は君には部屋にいてもらおうかな。
Yes, of course. I would appreciate that. I let out a sigh of
と
relief.
ころで君そろそろお腹が空いてくる頃じゃない？
Don't tell me you heard my stomach growl.
残念ながら聞こえなかったよ。もっと耳を澄ませておくんだった。だけどお腹が空くのは当然だよ。もう11時なんだし。
It's what? Wait, so I woke up around 9 o'clock? I don't believe it. I usually wake up by 6 a.m. regardless. Oh, girl, that is early.
それだけ疲れていたんだよ。空腹を感じ始めたのはいい兆候だ。きっと少しずつ体がいつもの調子を取り戻しているっていうことだからね。君、昨日の夜からホットミルク以外何も口にしていないんだから、本当ならもっと派手にグーグーお腹が鳴ってもいいくらいだよ。
Stop, that's embarrassing.
じゃあ今からキッチンに行こうか。ファルツォーネのヌッシュが待っているよ。
This song that's playing in the background reminds me very much of songs off the Cafe Enchant OST. I made a whole video about that, Atome, reviewing it and how it's like one of the best I've ever played, but definitely recommend. Came out around the same time as this, I'm pretty sure. Ruler? There's someone else in power besides Dante? I tilted my head in curiosity as Nicola led me out of the salon. It smells so good in here. I wonder what's being prepared.
こんなところ見つかったら俺が怒られるんだけどな。
Who is new character?
いい
Hello?
からどうぞ。あなたみたいな細い子は人の倍は食べないといけません。
うまっ。
A young man around the same age as me was nibbling on some fried bread. He turned around and...
アンダーボス。
You sung from Mystic Messenger? Looks exactly like him. It's so funny.
美味しそうだね、レオ。
おはようございます、ニコラ坊ちゃん。
あ、おはよう、ジュリア。リリー、彼女はジュリア。ファルツォーネの
Julia？
屋敷のメイドたちを取り仕切っているんだ。
That... Just seeing the name by itself, I wouldn't know how to say it, but it sounds like he's saying Julia.
昔からずっと勤めてくれている家政婦で、僕たちはみんな彼女の世話になっているんだよ。
それじゃ、そのお嬢さんが。
Hi, I'm the one that almost got kidnapped and murdered.
ニコラ坊ちゃんが昨日の夜更けに連れ込んだっていう？
人聞きが悪い。保護したんだよ、保護。
ニコラ坊ちゃんは節度のあるお方ですからね。ファルツォーネのお屋敷に女性を連れ込むような真似はしておりませんでした。外では何人の女性を泣かせているのか存じませんが。
ひどいな、ジュリアは。
Come to think of it, there were women swooning over you yesterday. I said swooming. God dang it. He did wink at me like some playboy. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of girls outside waiting for him.
リリー、気のせいかな。僕について悪いイメージを膨らませていない？
Not to worry, my image of you has not changed since the day we first met.
大丈夫なのかな、それ。
Nicola tilted his head and frowned as he pondered over my response. I turned to the keeper of the place to introduce myself. Nice to meet you, Julia, I think. My name is Liliana Adornado? I forgot that we have a last name. I'm honored to stay in your lovely home. There's much that I don't know, so I hope you can bear with me during this time.
まあ、ご丁寧にありがとうございます。なかなかしっかりしたお嬢さんですね、ニコラ坊ちゃん。
なんで僕に向けて言うのかな。それよりジュリア、早速だけどこの子に何か食べるものをお願いしてもいい？
もちろんですとも。少しサロンでお待ちくださいな。
じゃあその前に何か飲み物だけでも用意しようかな。リリー、君はカフェラテかな？
Yes, that sounds lovely.
ミルク多めで砂糖も入れる？
Yes, please. Nicola smiled and began to prepare the drink. He gently poured the warm milk into the espresso. The milk foam blended beautifully with the espresso to become a masterpiece. Fly way over there. Slowly sliding. The young man that was watching us from a distance ran toward us.
はい。なんでしょ
つまみ食いしている暇があるならこれサロンに運んでくれる？
う。任せてください。一滴もこぼさずに運んでみせます。
言っておくけどこぼさないのは普通のことだからね。当たり前だよ。
Nicola sighed with a shrug. He then looked at me and pointed to the door.
よし、サロンに戻ろうか。道は覚えている？
Yes, absolutely. I think.
じゃあテストしよう。僕は君の後に黙ってついていくから。
I'll try my best. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the kitchen with the two of them in tow. We were in the salon where I was sipping on the cafe latte that was made earlier. Julia came in with a smile on her face. It looked like the meal was ready.
お待たせしました。パンツェロッティが上がりましたよ。
That is, made with a cylindrical dough rolled flat, then filled with cream and formed into a crescent shape, which is then deep fried in oil. It is commonly found in Italy's Apulia region. Oh, interesting sounding. They look delicious.
どうぞお熱いうちに。
Why, thank you. The flavor of the panzerotti could already be savored from the sight and smell alone. It's so hot, but so delicious. The flaky dough was filled with tomato sauce and mozzarella. Okay, now I'm into this. It's like kind of like pizza-ish. Pizza's my favorite food. I'm down.
食べながらでいいから聞いて。せっかくだからついでに紹介しておくよ。
Who, you, son? Nicola glanced over at the young man who straightened himself up for the introduction.
彼はレオ。今後君の身の回りの世話と警護役を兼ねることになると思う。
はじめまして。俺、レオ・カバニスって言います。気軽にレオって呼んでください。
Pleased to meet you too, Leo. My name is Liliana Adornado. You can call me Lily.
はい。あなたの事情は聞いてます。今回は災難でしたね。
Yeah, I'm gonna need years of therapy for that one.
まだいろいろ不安なこともあると思いますけど、俺頑張りますから。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you, Leo. And the same to you as well.
はい。
できるなら僕がずっと君のそばにいてあげたいんだけど。僕も仕事があるし、いつも一緒ってわけにはいかないからね。
I understand. So what are your duties? I stopped myself from finishing my question. Leo called Nicola underboss earlier. The underboss was second in command to the boss. I shouldn't ask what your duties are. Nicola, the underboss? I didn't know you were... Come to think of it, he was speaking quite casually to Dante, the family boss. He also appeared to have men working under him, so I knew he wasn't too subordinate, but... He was the second in command to Berlone's largest family?
そんな風に見えないってよく言われる。僕はダンテのいとこでファルツォーネの分家筋なんだ。
Oh, okay, you're his cousin. Huh.
ファルツォーネは血縁を重んじる組織だからね。まあ、お飾りのアンダーボスだよ。
I responded to Nicola. Let's see. I just say you seem powerful. You're a powerful dude. Despite what Nicola says, he couldn't possibly have been assigned to that position just for show. Seeing that I wasn't saying anything, Nicola tilted his head and smiled.
何か気になることでもある？
Well, I tried to choose my words carefully. I'm sure the Falzoni blood is important, but you need to have power and talent to become an underboss, right?
フォローしてくれるの？お世辞でも嬉しいよ。
No, that wasn't a compliment. I honestly think you really are talented to be in your position.
そう思う？
Yes, well, at least that's what I think.
褒めてもらえて嬉しいよ。君の期待に応えられるように頑張らないとね。ともかく僕の立場のこと君はあんまり気にしないでいいからね。今までと同じように普通に接してほしいな。僕もそうするし。
Normally. Has your attitude toward me so far... Wait, has your attitude toward me so far been normal to you, Nicola?
僕、何かおかしなことした？
You're just so nice. He doesn't notice? Not at all, but you're a very thoughtful person, aren't you? Being an underboss?
世話焼きですよ。
Julia casually agreed with me in Nicola's place.
小さい頃からダンテ坊ちゃんの面倒をまるで実の兄のように海外しく見ていましたから、今もその癖が抜けないんでしょう。
Oh, I
ダ
see.
ンテ坊ちゃんとニコラ坊ちゃんは本当に仲がいいですからね。 ニコラ坊ちゃんは分家のお屋敷も相続していますけど、今でもほとんどこちらで寝起きしていらっしゃいますし、5年前のあの時なんてダンテ坊ちゃん以上にニコラ坊ちゃんが動揺していたくらいで。
5年前って言うと、あ、先代のカポが殺された時の。
Julia nodded with a sad look on her face. Killed? The newspaper article said that the previous Falzone boss died from illness. Odd, considering he was doing fairly well. Maybe he was assassinated. I recalled people around town speaking of such in a similar vein. I thought those were merely rumors. Julia?
なんです。
Was Dante all right back then? His father's passing sounds terrible.
ダンテ坊ちゃんは旦那様とあまり仲がよろしくありませんでしたからね。
I wonder if it's like a... She keeps putting young in front of their names. I've never seen that before. So I don't know if that's an Italian thing or if it's just like weird translation between like a Japanese and English and Italian.
特に坊ちゃんが大きくなってからはお互いの立場から一線を引いた態度をとっておられましたし。
I see.
あの日はちょうどニコラ坊ちゃんが留守にしていた晩でしてね。その時はニコラ坊ちゃんなりに責任を感じておられたんでしょうね。
Did he leave? I don't remember. Because if so, this is an awkward conversation to be having in front of him.
その後しばらくの間、坊ちゃんがらしくもない失敗を繰り返していたのを覚えていますよ。
Oh no, he's still here.
その辺にしておいてよ。
This is a bit of an awkward conversation to be having right in front of him.
それ、ファミリー以外のましてや女の子に聞かせるような話じゃないと思うよ。
へえ、そんなことがあったとはな。いや、俺もそんな昔の話もうやめた方がいいと思う。締めっぽくなっちゃうしさ。それより食べる方に集中してくださいよ。パンツェロッティは熱いうちに食べるのが最高なんですから。
You're right. I'd better enjoy my drink while it's hot too. Don't want to waste Nicola's masterpiece.
そうしてもらえると助かるよ。それと言うまでもないと思うけど。
I haven't heard anything here. I'll keep everything to myself.
お願いするよ。
What happens in the mafia house stays in the mafia house. It's beautiful. After the meal, Nicola brought me to the garden outside. Oh my, what a place. It's incredible. Carefully tended trees and bushes were lined up beautifully.
君は保護されるわけだから、しばらく屋敷の外に出られなくなってしまう。窮屈に感じることもあるだろうけど、そんな時はここで僕とおしゃべりしよう。外の空気に触れているだけでも少しは気持ちが和らぐはずだよ。
Thank you very much, Nicola.
そんなに気に入ってくれた？
I mean, I was referring to everything you've done for me. You saved my life, and I can't thank you enough for it. You even saved Elena, and let me meet with Sister Sophia, too. Sister Sophia is like a mother to me. You can't imagine how happy I was. Meeting her eased my tension and brought a much-needed peace to my mind.
親代わりか。そういえば、君は両親を失って教会に保護された身の上だったね。
How did you know?
ごめんね、調べた。君たちがどうしてラオ州に襲われたのか、その手がかりになるかもと思って。
Wonder how you do a background check in this time without the internet.
残念ながら特に何も出てこなかったけど。
I see. Nicola tried to find words to say to me as he looked around the beautiful garden.
僕もダンテと同じで、親との関係がいいとは言えない家庭で育ったからね。いろんなしがらみがありすぎて、正直なところ窮屈だったし、望む望まないに関係なく、親とは疎遠だった。だから、うまく言えないけど、君の生まれを知って、少し君のことを近くに感じたんだ。こんなこと言うと迷惑かな。
No, not at all. His concern brought warmth to my heart. Maybe that was why I felt so much closer to Nicola now than before. Thank you. We looked at each other and smiled. A breeze passed through us, lifting the pleasant fragrance of flowers into the air. Fade to black. Chapter 2. Woohoo. Primo Piatto. I ate at a restaurant called that once. I had a very good sandwich and tomato soup. But I think that is going to be where we end today's episode, which kills me in the inside. I so desperately just want to like keep playing. We have very interesting, got to know Nicola a bit more, sort of. Well, I guess he didn't have the best relationship with his parents, and neither did Dante. I did like getting to meet Dante, considering, like I've said many a times, all I've ever heard him say was, I do like him so far from the little bit of dialogue we got from him. But Nicola, I don't know, it's like he almost didn't like the banter we had with him. And there was also the moment where he's like, oh, I've always wanted to talk to you. And at first I was going to brush it off and be like, oh, I guess because he goes to that church that we work at. But then Lily too was like, what do you mean by that? Which kind of has me like, I'm wondering if there's more to Nicola than meets the eye, you know? Because he's very kind and polite and sweet. And the others were saying that he is too. And that he treated Dante like a little brother. But I am a bit skeptical. You're a mafia boy. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe you're not as kind as you appear to be, Nicola. But then again, maybe he is. But also, this is an Otome. Normally, there's a lot to unravel with each of the boys and their routes. But yeah, I think since we're at the start of chapter 2 now, that is a good place to pause for today. I'm very much enjoying this so far. I'm glad that I finally decided to play it, and I'm glad that you guys seem to be enjoying it so far as well. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!